All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I also want to give double honors unto the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well in sincerity and charity, peace, and salutation unto the Lord's elect. I'm the brother Yahweh Barak, coming at you with a lesson to the Spirit. Lord willing, it may be edifying. And before we get started with the video, man, I came across this through the Instagram. Just folly, man. Folly. And through the Spirit, man, I just want to go into some scriptures. So, yeah, let's watch this video.
August 12th, he said, you need to let that man go. I said, do you get what you're telling me? Do you understand what you're telling me? He said, fuck that nigga. I said, excuse me? Do you understand what you're saying? You're saying let go of a man that's marriage minded for you because you're ready for commitment. He said, like I said, fuck that nigga. And I was like, oh, okay. So the very next day, I sent a message and I let that man know.
Wait, you cut the man off before you got the ring?
Yeah.
Because he said, oh no, girl.
Oh no, it gets crazier.
Did you guys have...
That was August 12th. I let go of the dude. And then August 18th, we got married.
Wait, 6 days later?
August 18th. He called my dad somewhere in there, asked him for permission to marry me. My whole family know. August 12th.
Yeah, so absolutely ridiculous, man. And we're going to get into some precepts. So this is the book of Proverbs 30 and 20. Such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and said, I have done no wickedness. So look at her, man, playing victim. I did nothing. It was meant to happen. She has that face of innocence, man, where she just thinks that she was in the right. And that's what an adulterous woman ultimately does, man. She'll hang out with a bunch of different niggas, right? Going to one guy's house, one guy's mic, and then the next night she doing the same thing. Women that will, get their back blown out while they stay there at their best friend's house sleeping over. Women to the point of even having kids from another man, and then convincing that their man, the whole life, was raising another man's kids, and then he finds out at the very last moment, man. There's so many different instances and situations, man, but these are the characteristics of an adulterous woman. They wipe their mouth like they've done nothing. They think they're innocent. They feel like they've done nothing. They have no guilt. And you got to stay away from these women, man. You really got to stay away from them. And I want to go into another precept in the book of Ecclesiasticus 26 and 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. So, yeah, man, you got to be very vigilant of who you're dealing with, who you're sticking your rod inside, because they're just so many wicked women out there, and they appear to be good at first. And listen, don't think with your rod, man. Think with your mind, man. Think to the Spirit. You got to be discerning, because not every woman that's pretty you got to tap. Not every woman that has a big booty you got to tap. Because a lot of these women can carry certain diseases, and they'll spread them. You got to be careful, man. You really got to be careful. Ultimately, there's a lot of situations with myself. I'm not gonna get too deep into it, but there was a woman that I didn't end up dealing with. I was trying to deal with them, didn't end up working out. They showed interest, but it just didn't happen. The Spirit came on me to just say something I shouldn't have said, or whatever, and then they just stopped dealing with me. I stopped dealing with them, and ultimately that could have really been protection. Who knows the thoughts of the Lord? So when things like that happen, when you don't end up dealing with the woman, consider it a blessing of protection, because you might be dealing with an absolute whore. And most of the women here now are whores. I'm just going to be honest with you. But you just got to be wise, man. You can't just be dealing with anybody, because there's consequences for it. Okay? This Ecclesiasticus 26 and 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water nearby, and every hedge. So she will sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Yeah, man. So she's moaning and quivering, going on Tinder, swiping for every single man, and just dealing with a bunch of different men, and just proud about it too, opening her mouth and just taking whatever, and like I said, there's consequences for them doing that, because ultimately they're being adulterers. Adulterous woman is gonna get destroyed. Okay, let's see. And it's crazy because right after this precept, let's read this one first. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 25. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. I knew a girl who was going around and basically just dealing with a bunch of different men and not disclosing that she had certain diseases. And she was like that woman, like, wiped her face like she's done nothing wrong, going around just cheating on, her partners, just being a wicked bitch. And the Lord ultimately destroyed her, man. On New Year's, she got destroyed, man. She overdosed and she was laying stiff. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of these bitches, man. The Lord, you know what he's doing? He's saving the day, man, until he just unleashes insane amounts of judgments on these women. He's just stacking up the charges. Just like these criminals, man. You get caught stealing, they'll let you get away with it, until finally one day, then they'll just hit you with that big charge. And that's what the Lord's going to do to these women, man. Because how are you going to tell me you're going to be with a woman, you're going to be with a man for years, he's going to, love you, nurture you, take care of you, and then the best friend comes along and says, leave that nigga, and you just listen to him right away. Man, a woman having best friends, that's the first red flag, man. Because most of the time, these guys are there to tap, not, if not all the time, they're trying to, figure their way or have their way around, and you're just going to let your woman go out and hang out with other men. You got to really put your foot down, man, if that's the case, because it's off, man. Off behavior. There's no reason to just be bringing your woman around other men, period. Like that, is just be as not as you had a wife. Brings me to that scripture right now. In the book of 2 Corinthians 7:27 through 29. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loose from a wife? Seek not a wife. So, act as if you don't have one. You got to be, first and foremost, focused on this ministry. And, like I was saying before, there's no reason to just be bringing your woman out to places she don't need to be going to, bringing your woman around men, because that just breeds unclean spirits, man, to just come out, and, yeah, it's just off, man. Your woman don't need to be going out and doing that type of shit. And sometimes you gotta just lay it straight to them. If they don't listen, then put them away. The scripture said, "Be as not as you had a wife." Because in these times that we're coming into, a woman could be a huge distraction. So you gotta have a balance with it, man. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So if you're prioritizing your woman, your kids, or your lady, over doing the ministry, then that could be a big problem. That's a big problem, man, because the scriptures say seek the Lord first, as the scriptures in Matthew 6:33 say, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added on to you. So if you desire a woman, pray for one, okay, and the Lord will give you one, but he wants to see how you're dealing with one, and he's not going to give you any type of woman. You got to understand that too. We see this video as a clear-cut example, that the Lord, he makes wicked women and he makes righteous women. And he's not going to allow his men, his servants, to just be posted up with a woman like this during these times. It's going to really, give him a hard time. The Lord has very high standards. And, for whatever brothers out there that do have a situation where your woman is going off and is giving you a very hard time, then it is what it is. You just got to focus on the Lord. And if he does take her away from you, then consider that, a blessing. The Lord doeth all things, and he's going to protect his men during these times. And everything that we lose on this side, we're going to get back in the kingdom. We're going to have thousands of wives, thousands of children, all right? And there's nothing these women can say, all right? And brothers, you could deal with whatever woman you want, so long that she doesn't have a man. If she has a man and you deal with her, you're going off, sincerely going off. All right, you're doing something egregious. But if you don't got a man, all right, you're free to deal with multiple at a time. All right, I'm here to tell you that. Don't get in this mind frame where you got to just lock in and just be with one woman. Now, listen, some things are lawful, but not expedient. So we're allowed to have multiple women. There's nothing wrong with that, but not every brother can do that. Not every brother wants to do that. But don't feel like your woman, she tells you, oh, yeah, you can't talk to other women. Yeah, listen, whatever. You don't even got to tell them. You don't even got to tell them. You're an Israelite man. It's your God-given right to deal with multiple different women. But of course, be wise about it. All right, be wise about it. Don't be doing things that are going to get you in trouble. Okay? Because, if you're just focused on one single chick, and, let me track back. Your focus shouldn't be on one chick. But if you're dealing with one chick and, since she leaves you, it's going to, so, I don't know, just be wise. Be wise. Just getting back on topic. If you really do fear the Lord, He's not going to put you around a woman that's purely evil. And if He is for a moment, He's going to allow her to get away from you. He's going to show you through a lesson, man. Because a lot of us brothers have dealt with particular situations where, we've came across a really glamorous woman and she just didn't turn out how, we thought she was going to be. And then you learn from your lessons and you take that, you apply it to the scriptures and you know how to go about it next time. But if you do get a wife that's good, don't vex her, don't give her a hard time. Count that as a blessing from the Lord, right? So Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So, if you really fear the Lord and you're sincere, the Lord is going to allow a good woman to come in your life. And listen, to the brothers out there that might have situations with your woman, she was giving you a really very disrespectful, very off. Guess what? It's nothing for the Lord to just take her away, but bring a woman around you when you least expect it to help you out. We're coming into Isaiah 4 and 1. Not that that's the priority, but if the Lord sees that might, help you or benefit you in a way, keep you just, because the Lord understands we're living in this flesh. He understands. He might give that to you. So you never know what the Lord can do. He just wants to see you have faith, and He wants to see how you can handle, these situations. Will you be giving your time over to a woman, or will you be giving your time to the Lord? Will you compromise certain things that the Lord says not to do for a woman, or are you going to stand firm in fearing the Lord? He wants to see these things. He might test you. Okay? He might test you. So just understand that as well. And listen, we're not here to bash on the woman, because most of these women are off here in Babylon. Out of a righteous woman I have found none, as King Solomon said. But there are some righteous women, and it's very rare, okay? There's the elect lady, and there's sisters out there that are sincere. Don't conform to the ways of this world, man. Don't conform to these patterns that you see on Instagram. Because listen, Satan roars like a lion, seeking to whom he may devour. So if you have a woman, she might be in the truth, or she might be believing, she'll switch up sometimes. She'll have spirits that hop on her, and she might see something on Instagram, and she'll apply some worldly fucking advice and just start bugging out. Understand that too. Not every woman that puts a head wrap on and says Shalom is sincere. They do their little tests every now and then as well. But there are women out there that are decent and they're good. And so we're not over here sitting and ragging at women. We love women, but we don't love wicked women. We hate you, wicked woman. You're going to be judged and destroyed. All right, and if you are a sister that's sincere, you should be dealing with only your man's lessons, watching your man's lessons, unless he says otherwise. All right, don't be learning from this brother and that brother. If you're a sister that has a man that you're dealing with, honestly, go watch your man's lessons. If he's a man of the truth, go watch him. You need to be learning from him in silence, not trying to go over him and bring out scriptures to try to correct him or try to usurp authority over him. No, man, that's not your role. Your role is to be in silence. All right, you're not a prophet. Okay. And ultimately, man, the only thing you should really be doing as a woman is being a helpmeet unto your man, being peaceful, and reading the chapter of Proverbs 31. Okay? Reading Proverbs 31. That's what you should be focusing on the most. Because you're going to be saved through childbearing, and the Lord's going to look at you as how you treat your husband. All right? How you treat your husband. Okay? And the Lord's eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. He sees everything. This is Proverbs 31 and 3. Give not thy strength unto woman, nor thy ways that destroyeth kings. Okay, so really control your mind. Understand there's a balance to everything. Don't be that one of those guys, man, that just focuses on your woman over the ministry. I understand there's days where you might get Might be with your woman having a good time, whatever, it's cool. But don't let that just consume you fully, man, and be a major distraction. Don't give your strength onto a woman, because these women can come and go. They can pick up and leave whenever. It doesn't take much for them to see another man that looks a little bit better than you, all right, and then she just walks out, all right? That's happened plenty of times. These women are not really faithful, man. They're not loyal. We're an adulterous generation. You just got to see it for what it is, man, and just understand that, man. Be sober to that. And we learn more and more through these experiences, but if you really fear the Lord, man, he's going to take care of you, and that's really all that matters. Don't give your strength onto a woman. Seek the Lord first, all right? And look at that video as an example, all right? And not every woman you need to be around, man. Have some standards for yourself, all right? Know when to walk away. Trust me. I'm speaking for myself here, man. Know when to walk away. Don't let some pee change your ways, man, and your integrity. All right, respect your integrity. With that being said, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace and salutation unto the Lord's elect. Shalom.